So this is my garden orchard here. We have a garden and orchard mixed in with each other to conserve space, and you can keep better eye on things that way. So we started this orchard back, or orchard garden I should say. The orchard we started back in 2017, I think it was. And the garden in well, it was 2018, the winter of 2018, 19, and 2019 was the first year we actually got things growing in here. Everything grew great. We had a fantastic harvest. We had tomatoes and onions and garlic and kale. We got Swiss chard. We had eggplants and peppers, zucchinis, Italian squash, corn. We had, oh man, we had so much stuff. And today, and this year I should say, we're planting pretty much the same type of stuff, changing the varieties a little bit, but the same, those are the same type of vegetables that I like to eat. So the problem I'm having now with this garden is not the garden itself, because everything's growing really nice. It's the critters. Last week there was a rabbit in here, and I noticed that they've been eating the tops of my beans and other vegetables and stuff in here. And raccoons. Last year they were eating my watermelons. You could see their jaw marks on the watermelons. It was about the size of a raccoon. And they're eating the watermelons and my nectarines. It was like 2 or 3 days before I was going to harvest them. I went out there to harvest my nectarines. The first nectarines that I've gotten here, because a lot of my trees are still young. And I went out there to harvest them, and I seen pits on the ground. I was so upset. My orchard here is 6 feet high, the welded wire fence, and then I have a barbed wire fence on top, so it's 7 feet tall. That keeps that keeps the coyotes and the deer out. But the problem I'm having is rabbits and the raccoons. So today we're going to put a stop to that, and we're going to put some special fencing along the bottom because they're crawling. The rabbits are going underneath the fence, and it's pretty tight too. I got this thing down to the ground as best it'll go, but there's some areas where they're getting underneath. And of course they dig too, the rabbits. And the raccoons, of course, they just climb up over. We're going to put a stop to that today. All right, so let me show you what I'm going to do. All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to put some welded wire fence. It's 3-foot fence, but I'm going to put 2 feet of it right here and then about 1 foot of it here. So it's going to be bent like an L, right? The first thing I have to do is get this grass here and cut it down as short as I can get it, and I'm going to trim the fence the best I can, and we're going to lay that fencing down. All right, so I got all the weeds, the majority of the weeds taken care of. Grass is cut nice and low. And now we're ready to put our fencing in. So what I plan on doing here is, like I said, I want about 2 feet of it here and about a foot up here. So what I need to do here is bend this up. So I got myself a piece of old scrap, what is this, OSB here. You can use plywood, 2x6, 2x12, whatever you have. And this is 3 feet, so you want to get the first foot of it. So these are 4 inches, it's 4, 8, 12 inches. These squares are 4 inches here. So all you want to do is bend this up like this. That'll work. Doesn't have to look too pretty. All right. So now I got 600 feet of this to do. That's gonna be fun. Alright, so what we're going to do here, we're going to do a couple of things. We want to connect this fence nice and tight to this fence. And what I have here is a hog ring pliers and some hog rings right here. Let me show you how these work. So your hog rings right here, they're going to have a little groove in there. That's where you put your hog rings. You put them right inside here like that. Okay? And then what you want to do is find a spot on your fence and squeeze down on it. And that'll hold that right on there. Now, I'm probably going to put one here and one at the top, and then about another maybe 2 feet down, another one down here, another one up here. About every 2 feet or so. We'll see how that works. And so yeah, that should work pretty good. I mean, you could just use wire, but this is a little faster and it's done. But that'll work about every 2 feet or so. And we want to make sure that the fence here is snug up against there, best you can get it. I'm going to put a link in the description to all the stuff that I'm using here. Alright, so after I wire this 3-foot fence to here, to the other fence, I have here some 10-inch anchor stakes. These are galvanized metal anchor stakes. And you can see how they are. It's just a stake and it's got a little bent top on it right here. So what we want to do is put this bent top this way. Actually, no, we want it this way. We want this bent top that way. The reason for that is if I put this down here and this wire's up against here, if an animal does dig here, it's just going to push it up against the stake and it's not going to hurt it none. So we're going to put that here. And probably put one of these every, I don't know, 2 feet or so. Eventually what's going to happen, the grass is going to go through here. The mower's just going to go right over this, and you probably won't even see this anymore. So that's good. Okay, when I get to the end of my run, what I'm going to do here is cut this and lay this down. Okay, then when I get my other piece, it'll lay on top of this one. And I'll just continue my my run down this way now. This way animals won't find, like, because if I would have cut it off here, this spot would have been open, although they probably still wouldn't come in, but still, this way your whole entire corner is also protected. What's nice is I could take a nice break. Blackberries all over the place on my property. They're that good. They're so juicy and nice. I just hope my dog didn't pee on them. Did you guys pee over here? No? I hope not. All right, now that I got my fence pushed up against the main fence here, the reason why I took my gate off, what I'm going to do here now is cut this and this here, and I'm going to get this flap and flap it down to keep them from digging underneath the gate. So what's been working pretty good for me so far is I've been staggering my hog rings here. I spaced them 3 feet apart. So my last one was here. So I'm going to go approximately 3 feet. Put another one there. And then on the bottom, I'm staggering them. So in between these two, down at the bottom, I put another one. If I can get it on there. So it's going here, 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 down, up, 3 feet apart every one, and it's been working out pretty good that way. Because before I was putting one on the top, one on the bottom, and then every 3 feet, top and bottom. But now I'm kind of staggering them, and it's working out better that way. Hold the fence, because you might have some areas in the fence where it's bowing out a little bit, and that one down there will kind of pull it back in. So that's working out good. Alright, so here I am at the end. Whatever excess I had there, I cut off. And we're going to meet with the other one I had. Originally, I started off here, so now I went all the way around my orchard. Ended off here. So here I want to cut the part that's sticking up. We're going to push that down. And we're going to get a stake. And hold that down. One in the corner here. Let's do this. Just push that down a bit. Okay, and probably put one here because this is sticking up. Wherever you need them, put them. You obviously don't want it to be a trip hazard. Now we're going to do the gate. Now for the gate, we got to put stakes here also. So what I'm doing is I'm all the way along my fence. I've been pulling that tight up against the fence, and then holding this down here. And we'll go here. Now this could be a trip hazard here, because we're always going in and out, and I don't want to trip on this, so we'll probably have to put a couple of extra here. Again, whatever it takes. You don't want to be tripping on this, especially when you're carrying stuff. That's pretty good. All right, now what we're going to do is cut this, and on this side too. Let's see here, we'll cut it here. Okay, now we're going to push this down. Whoops, got caught there. There. We'll push that down. Put all these wire ends down also, so they go in the ground. Same deal here, push those wires down so they go in the ground. This way, now when I have my gate here, on the gate I also put some rabbit fencing similar to this on the gate, and it goes flush with the ground. So if a rabbit tries to come and dig here, it can't. Same deal here, we're going to put a couple of stakes. We don't want this to be a trip hazard. All right. Okay. So here I have some similar wire. It's rabbit fencing. You can put the same wire. What I did is I put it on the fence here, and I just wired it to the fence. That's the way that the rabbits can't go in between here. On this side also, it goes up to here, and they can't go inside. Alright, so the next thing we have to do is do the electrical wire going around the perimeter of my orchard. And let me show you how I'm going to set that up. Alright, so for an energizer, I'm using here the Gallagher S40 here. I also have another energizer that I use for my poultry fence. That one there is called the IntelliShock 30. I think Premier One sells it. They both work great. This one here is just a tad more powerful. The IntelliShock 30 by Premier One is a 0.3 joule. That's just a unit of measurement. This one here is a 0.4 joule, so they're, you know, basically the same. And they're both also in the same price range. I'm going to put a link in the description where you can pick these up. This one here also comes with the cables, and they come inside, stored inside the box when you get them new. You also get an instruction manual. Let me show you the inside here. All there is back here, there's a screw. You just unscrew this, The back opens up here, and like I said, inside this, the clips and the wires will be in here. In here you have a battery. This is a 6-volt battery in here, and they tell you to charge it up in the sun for a few days to get the battery nice and charged. I used a car charger and I put it on 6-volt setting, and I charged this battery up overnight and it's nice and charged. Remember, this is a 6-volt, not 12-volt battery. The cool thing about this one here is it comes, you see a little hole back here, under here? That is made to put on a T-post. Alright, so, and you can also change the position on the T-post depending on the sun. And you can adjust it that way too for the sun positioning. So, very cool, very compact unit, and very powerful. Alright, so what I'm going to be using here on the corners, all my corner posts here, I'm going to be using these porcelain insulators here. These you just screw into the post, put your wire through here. In the very corner, right here, I'm going to put this here on a 45, and I'm going to put the wire on the outside here. And the reason for it is I want to make sure when the wire comes from over there that it's going to clear the edge of this fence here. So if I put it out here, it looks like it'll clear just nice. But if I put it in here, it'll be a little too close and it might hit on the side here. This wasn't my first choice here. What I was really looking for are those hooks with the plastic insulator on the end of them. They just look like a hook like that, and they screw into your post, and they got that plastic insulator on them. And I've seen some pretty strong ones. I'm going to keep looking for those. I'll probably end up changing these out, but these should work. The reason why I don't like these that much is when I put it on the end here, then I start bringing the wire around, it's going to put a lot of pull on this thing, and it might snap this off. That's what I'm a little worried about. Another thing is when you're screwing anything into a post or a board about this size, it's easier if you find a drill a little smaller than this in diameter and drill it out and then screw this in. It'll go in much easier. All right. So I need to find a good height to put the electrical wire. I don't need to put it down here, so I don't have to worry about animals digging in, because if I didn't put this here, I probably could have put the electrical wire here down low, so when they come in there to start digging, their nose will probably hit the wire and they'll get shocked. But then I got to worry about weeds touching the wire and all that, and I don't want to mess with that. This is more secure. They won't dig for sure here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the wire up high, maybe approximately 2 feet high. The reason for that is a coyote, a dog, or a pig will come here and touch that wire and they'll get shocked. Of course, a dog or a coyote will try and dig here and they can't dig. A raccoon, on the other hand, climbs. Okay. So when the raccoon tries to climb, it's going to be on this wire, and it grabs that wire. His feet are going to be grounded on this fence here, and once he grabs the electrical wire, he's going to get shocked and come flying off the wire. So that's what I'm hoping. So we're going to put it about 2 feet high and all the way around the perimeter of the fence. Also, what I got is this. These go around your T-posts. Okay, they wrap around your T-posts and clip on, and the wire goes through here and holds your wire in place around where the T-posts are. So that's what we're going to use. I don't have enough experience with these. I've used these similar to this one on the chicken tractor that I have, and the sun pretty much eats these things up and makes them brittle. I don't know how UV resistant these are, but the ones that I have over there on my chicken tractor, they only lasted maybe a year, if that. A couple of them anyway. Some are still going strong. So anyway, this is all I can find. So we're going to try these. So let me show you what I've been doing. These don't fit right on these T-posts. It's most likely these T-posts are a little, maybe a tad bigger than your standard ones. I don't know. But these are supposed to go on like this. And then wrap around. And then clip on the back. That's the whole problem I'm having. Let's go on the other side and let me show you. Alright, so the way this is supposed to work is this is supposed to snap over the lip here, where this lip's supposed to snap over this T-post. But I can't get it over. I tried doing it with a pair of pliers and tried bringing it over, but it won't. It gets caught up here. The part I'm having trouble with is right here where it goes around the T-post. The tips are just a little too long. I got this really rough bastard file. It's really a wood file, but it just takes enough off that tip there compared to the new one. Now let's do that. Here's more pointy here, put a flat on it. Just I took a little bit off so it would go around the T-post and clip in, because I could not for the life of me get those to clip on around the T-post. It's either there's too much material here or the T-posts are a tad too big. One of the two. And that's it. Alright, now that I shaved the tip off here, this should fit around here like that. And in the back it should snap on. Alright guys, so what I did is I changed my mind. I ended up buying these here. These are much stronger. So I'm going to put these here on each side of the gate here. I'm going to take this off, this insulator off, and put this here and one over here. And I'll probably end up putting one on the corner, because I like it's a little longer and it'll bring it farther out from the fence here. I don't want it shortened out. But these here are much stronger. Okay, this is a little plastic insulator. This will go screw into your post. That'll go on like that, and then that'll screw on there like that, and your wire will go right in between there. This is much better. I've ended up finding these at Tractor Supply. They had 2 packets left. It's enough to do both my gates and each corner. So that worked out pretty good. Alright, when you're ready to put the wire in the insulator, just put the wire through the front part here, and it's in there, just like that. Got it? Yeah, keep it leaning towards the plastic part. That's good, huh? You don't have to move. All right, so you saw I pulled the wire. My wife was holding the spool on this end, and I brought it all the way around through the porcelain insulators, all the way around to the other gate. And so what I want to do now is bring this one to here, and I'm going to cut it here. And then we're going to pull it tight, and we should be all right. Pull it tight, and we should be all right. I'm a poet and don't know it, all right? So I want a lot of extra here. So I got plenty. Okay. So we have to bring it through this insulator here. And well, I'm not going to pull it tight, but now what I have to do is put it through all the plastic insulators, and then we're going to pull it tight. All right, so now I got to go to each insulator here and put the wire through there like that. All right, so from this end, I have the wire hooked up on the other gate over there. So now I can get this wire, pull it nice and tight, and I want to make sure I wrap the other wire too. Alright, we'll see how that works. Alright guys, so for the gate, what I did is I put a wire here from the insulator here to here. And now this is a spring-loaded handle. If this is charged, what you do is you grab the handle here, and this is spring-loaded here. And you just hook it like that, and if you need to get in without getting shocked. Alright, so here I have I guess a 6-foot grounding rod. Now they're not like your house grounding rods, but they got to be 8 feet. This one's a lot shorter. It's roughly 6 feet. This is good because it's nice and deep, and when it's really dry out here in the summertime, the ground, 3, 4, 5 feet deep will be nice and moist, and that's what gives you the good ground. So I'm going to put this ground here, Now it's been raining here quite a bit, so this ground should be very, very soft. And now we're going to pound that in. And that should be good enough. All right, next thing we got to pound is a T-post. I want this energizer, south is facing that way. So here, I can mount it here. That is adjustable, I can turn it either way I want. Let's see, I'll just put it here. That's good enough. All right, so the Gallagher S40, how this works is this is the off position. If I move this over to here, the green light comes on and it stays on, that means the battery is good. And if it blinks, that means your battery needs to be charged. And it'll charge automatically here if you leave it in the sun. Here you have a picture of, it looks like a deer, a coyote, and a wild hog. And here it's a horse, cattle, and some sheep. So if you flip it, the switch to here, it's for your, it'll pulse during the nighttime and during the day. It's for your wild animals. And if you just put it here for the domesticated animals, your horse, cattle, and sheep, it'll just pulse during the daytime. Because at nighttime you really don't need them. They're all sleeping, right? So, but we want to keep the coyotes, we want to keep the deer, we want to keep the raccoons, rabbits, all that out. So we're going to put it here on the wild animal setting up here, okay? Now, before we do that though, let me show you how to hook up the wires. Okay, we have a green and a red. The green is ground. So we just pounded that stake into the ground and we want to put that right on here like that. Let me see if that, oh yeah. Just like that, okay? And the red one, we're going to put right on the wire itself that we put outside. Alright guys, so we got the red hooked up to the main wire going all the way around the perimeter of the orchard. The ground is grounded and I can turn it on. It's flashing and it should be charged. We're going to check the wire now. Now I have here a wire tester here. This came with my Premier 1 as a kit. That's a little bit, I don't know how much it is, but it came as a kit with the other energizer that I have. But it'll work here if you hold it up to the wire. It went to the very highest, and that's good. Alright, so we are all set here. The wire is charged. It is at the highest voltage. My little gate thingy here works really nice. I can come in without getting shocked. The rabbits won't be able to dig underneath anymore coyotes or any of those animals. The wire is hot here, so if a raccoon tries climbing up here, it's going to grab that wire and its hind legs will be grounded to the fence already. Bam! It'll shock them and it'll send them running and crying and screaming for mommy. So this year I can enjoy some nectarines, some peaches, and all those delicious fruits without me seeing pits on the ground again like I did last year. The only thing I have to worry about is birds, but we'll see about that. My grapes, I'm going to end up putting a net over those eventually, but that's not until next year, maybe the following year. Alright guys, so I appreciate you watching. Please like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.